Good morning, everybody. Hey, I'm back out here. I think it's Wednesday. I don't even know. But it is a rainy day. I should have mowed the grass yesterday, but we had been on the road, and all I could think about is what was wrong with this thing and getting it right. And so I'm glad I did what I did yesterday. Spent the day setting those valves, rocker arms and stuff. So yeah, nasty. Again, probably should have mowed yesterday, but hey, whatever. We need the rain though, because the grass is turning brown. But anyway, it's actually cold out there in the 60s, which is actually, I'm not complaining, it's nice. Just had to give you your weather update. So today I'm going to put the valve covers back on. I'm really going to play with it a little bit, just probably triple check these for the gap. And then I'll got to put the covers back on. I'm probably going to just reprime it, and you're probably saying that's stupid. I don't need to now, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then I need to plug the alternator in, bolt it down and all that stuff. I need to work on finding the right belt because this is still too short. And I may put the fan on the other side of that to push it in another, I don't know what it would be, a 1/4 inch or whatever it would be. I'm not sure about that yet. And yeah, I'll put the rotor back on. The new fuel pump should be in today, the right fuel pump. And whoever suggested, though, I got to put all the plugs back in and tighten them all back up and all that stuff. Whoever suggested that the pump is the wrong size, thank you, and I appreciate you telling me. Had no idea, because I just looked up 1971 Corvette 350 fuel pump. Yeah. So I'm glad you told me that, so we'll get that on. Hopefully it comes in today and I can get it on today. And other than that, we're in pretty good shape. If I get all that done, or when I get all that done, then I'll start working on probably the power steering. Well, I'll start it, and then we'll work on the power steering. I do have a new distributor coming with electronic coil built in, no gaps. That probably won't be here for 7 or 8 days, though. I did order it when I was on the road, but it's on back order, so it'll probably be a week or so before it comes in. So I'm going to go ahead and set this one for now, just so I can play with it. All right, so I got the valve covers back on, tightened down. They could go a little tighter, but then they won't be straight. I need to probably take them off and readjust those little screws underneath them. But anyway, or just be happy that they'll be sideways. But got the plugs back in, got that all tightened up. So we're in good shape here. I do need to still put the coil cap back on and distributor cap, and then yeah, the fuel pump, the right fuel pump should be here today, so I probably won't fire it up until I get that fuel pump in, and yeah, then we'll go from there. I think we're in good shape though. I mean, everything's, I still would I'll probably take that belt and find another belt. I'd like to do that because that belt is still too short, too tight. Yeah, so we're in pretty good shape. I think it'll actually run good now. If I was even to start it right now, I just want to get that fuel pump swapped out before I start it again. All right, so the fuel pump still hasn't got in. I got everything ready to go. Other than that, I mean, I still need to put the shields on with spark plugs. I guess I'm gonna do that. Not too stressed about that right now. Yeah, so hopefully there is one out there and I can order it. And if not, I'll just take that belt and try to get one an inch longer than that or something and go from there. So I figured I'd start working on these seats that were reupholstered. So I've busted them out, or one set of them out I got. So yeah, they should look pretty nice. I figure I've got the rails painted now. So I've just got to look at them a little bit, figure them out, and then we'll put them together. Ah, that's heavy. Boy, these seats are heavy. But there you go. There's the seats. They've just been reupholstered. They still have this old hardware on it, but they've been totally reupholstered. So they look good. So let me figure this out, and we'll get going on this and get these together. All right. Went on actually pretty well. Yeah, like a little chrome ball, and those little balls are heavy. But I got that together, so I think that's going to be a pretty easy installation as far as I can tell. Yeah, I don't want to jinx myself. I got to find those holes and get it all bolted down, but it looks pretty cool. All right, so then I'll figure out how to get this top on there, and then this bolts through the back into there. So I'll need to find the bolts for that. I don't even know if I have those bolts. Well, that's awesome. Like always, I'm missing the 2 screws that come through here to hold the spring for the seat. I'll need 4 of them. I don't even have any bolts to fit that. The closest I have is these, and they get, you know, a couple screws in. They're the wrong size, I think, and I don't want to strip them out. So I'll have to research those and get them on order, like everything else. Alright, I found the bolt size I need. It just needs to be shorter. And yeah, but I don't have any. So basically I'll have to make a run just to town tonight, whatever. So I'll just put it in my pocket for now. I can probably put those in when they're in the car, but it sure be so much easier if I didn't. So I'm just gonna wait. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a fight anyway, because you kind of have to put it in there. And then I'll be pulling on this thing. Yeah, it's probably gonna be tough. So anyway, I got the back on there. Of course, it's ugly. I know it's ugly. I'll order new ones later. They're easy. 2 screws, slide on, whatever. Nobody's ever gonna see them. They're gonna be sitting in the back, so I can get away with that for the wedding. Of course, I'll replace them eventually for real later. But right now, we're just trying to get the seat together. So I need to get those bolts, and yeah. So I guess I'll switch to the other seat and try to get it together. To the same degree, and then maybe I'll go get bolts if the UPS man hasn't come by then yet. So pretty cool though, pretty cool. Good to see those things coming together. Oh, I think I just heard the UPS man. Yep. All right, let me get my package. Hopefully your UPS driver doesn't drive that crazy, but mine does. All right, well, let's see what we got here. All right, there's my trim for my back seatbelt area, so that's good. I had to have that in so I can work on that. There's my LT1 fuel pump that I've been waiting on. This is, I don't know what this is. Okay, so this is the wires that you need for putting in the HEI deal for the distributor. Here's the windshield molding and sun visor to windshield molding. Oh, it's my new sun visors. There you go. So now I'm just waiting on the new sun visor clips. These are definitely better than the old stained up junky ones, and they will see this, so I wanted to get it looking nice. All right, so like always, I don't have the bolts that I need. I don't have the seatbelt install bolts, which I can't believe. So I'll need those first, and then I don't have the seat back bolts to go there, and then I don't have the bolts that go to the floor. So I'm batting 1,000 here, unless those, I need to check those ones. Actually, I might have the ones that go to the floor, but I'll check those out. But yeah, so I got a lot to order. And of course, I'll try to figure everything else that I need on the way as well. But I just wanted to set in here and see what it looked like. It sets cool. It feels cool sitting in it. I mean, it really does. So it's going to be neat when it's in there. But so what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and build the other seat since I'm clean. Get that built, and then I might try working on this trim right here to make sure I got all the parts for that too, and get that done. Maybe even put the seals in and go from there. So I hate that I'm putting this in there, because I'm gonna have to pull it all back out when I do the heat shield on the floor, but got to get it done for the and money, you know. So trying to get it done as basic as I can. I'll come back later and do projects after that, you know, one thing at a time, over time, right? right now we've just been spending money like crazy on this, so I just want to get it running. I want it to be showy enough for the wedding, and then we'll just work from there. So, all right, let me shut up and get back to work. All right, so that's pretty cool. I just wanted to see what they're going to look like. They look cool. They're not bolted in, of course. I'll have to get the bolts for them. But I do realize I have them in the wrong place because that's where the seatbelt would be cut out. So that needs to be on that side, and that one needs to be on this side. But it gives you an idea anyway. So I'll go ahead and get these pulled out of here. But it's going to be cool when they're done. That's for sure. I still got to put the side trim in and all that stuff too. So bolts for the seatbelt. So I'm going to probably set the side trim in there and just see if I have everything. And how it goes together. If I do, cool. If I don't, well, I'll have to figure that out too. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. All right, let's get the stuff pulled out of here. I'll have to get all this stuff on order. More stuff that I don't have. Anyway, it's good to find out now, I guess. So I'll pull these out so they don't scratch anything up, and then we'll go back to changing out the fuel pump that we just got in. All right, so I'm not gonna be doing that today because mine has 2 fuel lines and the fuel line that goes to the carb, which is that one. Mine has 2. I guess it's an in and a return, and this one only has 1. So yeah, I'm not sure what to do there. So I'll do a little more research. This is supposed to be the LT1, which is what that is. I don't know. So it's not gonna work. I'm gonna put it in the bag, put it back in here, and then try to figure out what's going on, why mine has a return line on it. Maybe he did that intentionally when I don't know. So I'll have to figure that out. That's the tough thing about coming behind somebody else. You just don't know what they were thinking. So, okay. Alright, so I'm back at it. That fuel pump is just not going to work. I have 3 fuel lines. One was a return on the new one, and the one I just got is supposed to be the right one. Only has 2 lines on it, so I'm going to have to figure all that out. In the meantime, I don't know what to do with the extra gas line in it. I think it's a return. In the meantime, I have primed this one more time. I just ran the drill on the primer for about 5 minutes, and of course there's oil everywhere. And then I reset the distributor, and so now that's kind of where I'm at. I need a longer belt for sure, so I'm going to have to take this belt back off and then take it into town and try to get an inch longer or something. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's ready to start. Of course, then it started downpouring out there. So I got some bolts I'm gonna have to get for the seats. These ones, they don't even sell for my year, so I'm gonna have to get some from whatever. They'll be fine. They just hold that locking mechanism on the back of the seat. And these are the ones that bolt the seats down to the floor. I'm gonna see if I can find them. If I can, then I'll just get them here. If not, I'll order them. So that's kind of where I'm at there with everything. As soon as it quits raining a little bit, I'll open this door and I'll fire this thing up. Oh yeah, I looked up seat belt bolts too. They had those, so I'll get those on order tonight too. That's weird. Wonder why the reverse lights are on. Definitely not in reverse, so we'll have to figure that out. Sounds good though. Smooth as a dream. Gotta clean it. I'll have to get a timing light and time it too. Good, there's smoke coming out the other side now. I wonder why the reverse lights are on. That's crazy. Smells hot. Oh, got some steam or something coming from the other side here. Probably just burning off the headers. Where's that coming from? Coming off the dipstick? Both sides. Both sides. I guess the oil's leaking off the side of the motor. Well, I would call that a success. So that's good. I gotta tighten up my seals a little more. The heads, just so they don't leak down there, because I think that's what was happening. I will check around though. I need to get the plates back over the spark plug wires. The covers are there for the top to keep the wires away from the exhaust manifold, but I need to put the plates on just to protect them from the rest of the stuff. But other than that, I mean, not bad. Seems like it's going to run good. Hey, good morning everybody. I've been inside editing video for you on the Corvette. Try to get it out today, which is loading right now, for tomorrow. I think today's, I don't know, today maybe Wednesday or Thursday. It must be Thursday. So yeah, for today, for tomorrow. Anyway, it's loading right now, so when it gets done loading, I'll set the date on it and schedule it and all that stuff. But in the meantime, today is a busy day. Did the video this morning. It's about 10:30. I plan to do the power steering today. I need to put the belt on, and then we'll go underneath, and we got to equalize that hydraulic ram that drives the steering. Yeah, so I'll have to read the book up real quick on that again because it's been a while. But I think there's just a screw in there. You turn it, and it can goes in or out, and you try to balance it. Anyway, so we'll work on that today. I'm going to get that done, and then I got grass to cut and a bunch of other stuff. But just behind on my chores, you know, we were on the road for another week. So, all right, so back at this. Let me get that belt on there, and we'll go from there. All right. Oh, man. I wasn't going to put this on until I got the other belt because this is the wrong, this one, I need a longer belt here. But in the meantime, it'll work. So what do I need to tighten up here? I know these are pain. Let's see. Let's see if I can do it this way. Let's see. I think these are already tight, but I'll check them out. Anyway, yeah, they're already tight. All right, is it just one bolt there? I think so. All right, it's on there. It's the pump is tight, but the belt isn't that tight, but it'll work for what we're doing. We're just trying to get it to pump to get this thing stabilized. We'll have to end up taking it off to get this belt back off to get a good size belt anyway. But that'll do for what we need to do. So let's just fire it up, and then we'll equalize this hydraulic ram down underneath here. All right, so I don't know what's going on around here. I don't have any power steering fluid, which is crazy. I always keep that kind of stuff. I do have 1 quart, but it's special for the Dodge, the new Dodge. So I'm gonna shift gears. I'm gonna get on the lawnmower, get my grass mowing done. Probably weed eat first, and then I'll go from there. I'll go in town tonight and get that and a couple bolts that I need for the back of the seats. But yeah, fun. All right, well, I'll catch up with you guys later. All right, I went to the store this morning and got a new belt, got some power steering fluid, got some other bolts that I needed. So I'm gonna get this belt on here, and then I'm gonna fire up this, put the both belts, the alternator belt, and then the power steering belt, and then we'll see if we can't get this power steering stabilizer, hydraulic ram, whatever it is, equalized, and we'll go from there. So let me throw these on there real quick, and then yeah, I'll get right back with you. All right, so I've got the belts hooked up. They're both on there. I had to use the tight belt again because that's what I got. The other one is way too loose. But I got the power steering belt on and all that stuff. So let's fire it up and then see if that piston just doesn't stay centered. And if it does, we're good to go. All right. So it's right there and it's not moving. So what I'll do is I'll turn the wheel so that it comes this way, and then I'll put the bolts on it, line it up in there, and put it in. Oh, we got a leak though. We'll have to figure out what's going on there. Where's that leak come from? Might have been when I turned it for the first time. I don't know. I might have to turn it a couple times just to see. All right, this is a bolt kit for it. Let's see what we got here. So this probably goes on both sides of that. And then one of these goes in on the end there. Probably goes in there. And then there's 2 nuts. I'm gonna have to look at this because there's 2 nuts. Probably one goes on the back side of that and one goes on the front side of it. So let me figure out what goes where. I'll have to look that up in the book, and then we'll get her hooked up. So the book doesn't show. It shows the metal thing going down and then the 2 pieces of rubber and then a cap, and then a bolt on the outside, a locking nut on the outside. So that's not what I have though. I have a bolt. So this would go on the inside, then I guess this would go there, and then I guess that goes there, and then that goes on top of that, or does this go on the inside?
Shoot. Something interesting. All right, so I just got to get the right wrenches. I think it's 7/16 and maybe 9/16. I don't know. I'll have to get a couple wrenches, see what we got here. No, I got 16ths. And that's gonna be smaller, yep. So I got one of them. I have to go get the other one. All right. I think it's gonna be 7/16. We'll see in a second. I may be wrong. It might be half. Nope. Dang. Yeah. Oh no, smaller than half. That is 7/16. Daggone. All right. Whoop. Yeah, see, I got a little leak going here, though. I got to figure that out. I don't know what's going on else. I don't see anything leaking anywhere else, but something's not right. Maybe this isn't tight. I don't know. All right, let's try it. So cool, it doesn't look like it's leaking anymore. I think it just needs the exercise, you know, is what it is. So, moving on to the next test. I need to figure out why, well, the next big test will be bleeding the brakes. That's all they need to be bled, and then I can move the car back and forth. Then I'll need to look at wiring the reverse lights on all the time. This is that module for the reverse lights. I'm not sure. I might have hooked it up wrong or something. So I'm probably gonna unpin it and move it around and see if I switch it the other way, will it turn off, because it's obviously not in the right position, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, I got to figure that out, because the reverse lights are always on. And the other thing I got to figure out is the parking lights are never on, so that's another issue too. And so one thing at a time though. I don't even know if I have brake lights, because I don't have anybody push the brakes while I do that. I'll have to get the wife out here and try to get that figured out. But happy other than that. I mean, things are going along. I mean, this is all part of putting the car together, right? So, all right, sorry about that. I got busy and my wife came out to help me bleed the brakes and I forgot to record. So we got fluid in the front. We don't have fluids in the back yet. And then I'll start really bleeding them at that point to make sure all the air is out. But yeah, I just pulled the rear tires off and have it on jack stand. So we'll get her in here in a second, and then we'll get the fluid back here, and then we'll bleed the brakes. I mean, make sure the air is out. But yeah, it's nice to have it this far, to be honest with you. Really thankful for the tool that Jeff had sent me there, the Impact. Man, it makes taking tires off easy peasy, boy, let me tell you. But yeah, everything looks good in here that I can tell. I just need to get fluid to the back. And once we do that and get the blade spread, we'll be in really good shape. I put some more power steering fluid in there because it was low. I actually overfilled it, so now I'm trying to let it drain down a little bit. I had to take some out actually and clean up a big mess. But yeah, I was watching, and then I didn't watch, and then it was over. I mean, just like that, it was overfilled. So I drained a bunch of it down, and it's still leaking out a little bit. I'll have to get some of that put down. But yeah, we'll get these brakes done, and then check that power steering one more time. And I think I'll be roll her backwards out of the garage and roll her back in the garage kind of thing. I don't have the bolts for the seat, so I can't really do much. But yeah, exciting. All right, well, when she gets back at her, if I remember, I'll film and we'll get some fluid back to these brakes. I put the air breather on too, by the way. That's something else I did. Yeah, I didn't even film that. Crazy. All right, well, sorry I'm letting you down, but it's on there. All right, so the wife's on her way out to help me do this real quick. So when she gets out here, we'll get this thing let out. I need a little hose, but I don't have one. I'll just have to drain it and see. You ready to help? You ready to help? Are you ready to help? Yeah? Are you gonna push the brake? Yeah. All right. Just be gentle and don't try to disturb the car because it's up in the air. Not very well. Gentle. Stay. You don't need to get in there. You don't need to get in there. Hey. All right. Push.
Stay.
Let up. Push. Let up. Push. 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 Up. You can check the fluid level. It's good though. Push. Let up. Push. Let up. Push. Let up. Push. Let up. I hear it. Push. Oh, there it is. All right, so we got the brakes bed, so I'm going to get these tires back on here, and then I'll let it rock back and forth, just make sure that we're going to fill that up a little bit and take a little out of there. But probably just drain it out the back actually. But it's looking good. It's looking good. So everything's coming out one thing at a time. So, all right, let's get this fixed up and then I'll get back to you. Now let's get this thing off the stand.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, me and Tank have been inside editing this video. See, Tank, you weren't even around in that video, were you? Nope. And it's been about 30-something minutes, so we're going to call it. Thanks so much for spending your time with me as we try to knock off the punch list for this thing. And I will see you guys next week. Hey, don't forget, please like and subscribe. Did you forget? You look like you forget. Did you forget?